What's up, political vigilantes? You are watching Graham Elwood. That's me. One of the great ways to support the show is go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood. You can submit articles and subjects and topics for me to talk about, like Jasmine Mann did with this. So after food delivery app cuts pay 30%, thousands of workers call for Blitz up for raised pay. So here's what happened. So on the Postmates, they cut the delivery by 30%. So Blitz up, basically, if you don't understand Postmates, I'm sure many of you use it. For those of you who don't, it is a food delivery app where you can get local restaurants, and they use, similar to like a Lyft or Uber driver, to go to those restaurants and pick them up. So what they did is they cut their pay. So what and the Blitz up is like surge pricing. You know how like Lyft or Uber, when it's really busy, they do surge price. So that's what happens when there's not as many, there's more orders than there are drivers. They do Blitz, they raise the surge, they cut their wages. And some people, it's crazy. So what they did on June 15th, very creative way. I talk about creative ways of nonviolent resistance. This is one of them. They want $15 an hour. They want health benefits. Again, Postmates is one of these tech companies that has billions of dollars, and they can't pay their employees that are making them all this profit, and they cut their pay. In this gig economy, this is what most people do. They drive for Uber, they do Postmates and DoorDash and all this stuff. Some people do it as a side gig. Some people, it's their full-time job. If you have a decent car that works, you can just be a full-time DoorDash or Postmates or Lyft driver. But then it's a full-time job and they're sticking it to you. After billion-dollar food delivery app Postmates cut pay by 30% and even eliminated the $4 per job guarantees. You got a guaranteed $4 every time you delivered food. You got guaranteed. They took that away. And they increased, we're going to pay you more money per mile. Well, a lot of times they're just doing quick trips. It's less than a mile to go get the food and drop it, because most people are ordering within their area. Workers are fighting back and taking action to raise pay. They're calling it a Blitz up, and it's the first ever nationwide action by food deliveries in the gig economy. They already did it, but I want to show you how they organized it, and then I'll tell you what the success rate of it. So Postmates workers have come together to fight back against low pay with the Blitz Up as part of the Pay Up campaign, which unites gig workers on Instacart, DoorDash, and other platforms around three key demands to reboot the gig economy. A minimum pay floor of $15 an hour. Yes. Expenses for each hour with an active job, tips on top of pay, and a transparent, detailed breakdown of pay. Wow, transparency. Boy, it sounds like a bunch of millennial avocado toasters wanting fair rights. See what they've done? The 4 decades long corporate coup of this country, one of the foundations of it was eviscerating unions, which fight for stuff like this. Right? And these companies make billions of dollars, and if they're like, we might not be able to stay in business, well, then you shouldn't run a company, man. I'm sorry. Then your business model failed. If I wasn't making I've been doing this show for 2.5 years now. If I wasn't making enough money on it to pay my bills, I would stop doing it. It's not successful. People don't give a shit what I want to hear about. I failed. I didn't do it right. Something didn't work. Sorry. That's how it would go. I co-created the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. We did it for 6 years. It was awesome, but it didn't end up making enough money. We had to stop doing it. We didn't cut our employees' salaries. We tried to increase them. The first couple of years, we barely paid people, and because we were a startup and didn't have a lot of money. And then we started making some money, and we started paying people decent wages, and then we couldn't sustain that. So we stopped. There you go. That's welcome to capitalism, kids. So they organized this. What they said then, they organized people from all of these DoorDash and Postmates and everybody They organized all the drivers and they did it all online because everyone's an independent contractor, but they got everybody online. Hashtag Blitz Up and said only take jobs that are the Blitz Up, that are the extra pay. So decline, because that's what happens apparently. If you're like a Postmates driver and you turn your thing on, I'm ready to work, like Lyft or Uber, then it comes up and says, oh, do you want this job? Go pick up this food and deliver to this person. And you can either accept or decline it. You have that right. And so they just said, everybody decline the ones that aren't the higher wage Blitz Up ones. All over the country. These are all the cities that have all of these apps. Here's what happened. They did it June 15th. Thousands of workers participated in the Blitz Up, plus customers and supporters across the country called Postmates to demand change and shared their support on social media. And if you just do a hashtag Blitz Up, you'll see all these tweets that came around, people like calling up Postmates or hey at Postmates, this ain't right, pay your workers. In some cities, workers refusing non-blitz jobs actually force the app to produce blitzes because that's their algorithm. All these orders came in, nobody was taking the jobs, so they had to blitz up they had to pay more for each one of the jobs. They forced that to happen. This is inventive. This is the thing that I've talked about. Peaceful, creative. I've talked about the teacher strikes, how successful they've all been. Many of them were in red states, Arizona, Kentucky, right? Red states. Missouri, I think, were successful. I've talked about the Tokyo bus driver strike. Here's what the Tokyo bus drivers union, they were in a dispute, and instead of shutting down the buses, which would really hurt more of the citizens of Tokyo than it would the owners of the bus company, the Tokyo bus drivers all got together and said, on this one day, we're not charging anybody. Everybody got on for free. Everybody got where they needed to go because especially public transportation, there's a lot of children and senior citizens and people with disabilities, people who can't afford a car, especially a city like Tokyo is a massive city. It's like Manhattan. Most people in Manhattan don't own cars. Everybody got to school on time. Everybody got to their doctor's appointments. Everybody got to work on time, but they didn't pay a single penny. Or a yen, I guess you'd call it. See? In other places, we heard about some weird app behavior. People reported demand that looked like it would normally produce blitzes, but few orders coming in or unusually slow business during peak times. So maybe they were messing with the apps because they knew this was coming. Or maybe people didn't order as much food in that area. I don't know. Many workers have reported that it looks like Postmates may have manipulated the system or offered additional bonuses and incentives in order to get more drivers on the road and avoid blitzes. So they released like, oh, new driver app, or you get a bonus if you join right now today. Keep putting the pressure on them. Keep doing this. Stuff like this is how we affect change. So you might be like, well, Graham, but the climate is the most important thing to me. What does this have to do with that? See their model? They had a creative way. They found like a chink in the app's armor, so to speak, and they exploited it. When they had the government shutdown, it was the air traffic controllers that said, okay, we're going to shut down flights unless you put the government back to work because we can't work for free anymore. So that's what I'm talking about. What if all the truck drivers union said, we're not going to deliver food anymore until you make all of our trucks clean energy? What if you did that? What if everyone got that together? I'm just thinking outside. This is thinking outside the box. I hate to use corporate speak, but this is like inventive thinking. Somebody out there get creative on what we can do. We've talked about a general strike. Everybody just saying we could do that. We want a Green New Deal now. And if we're going to shut a bunch of things down unless you put this in place now. Because Nancy Pelosi and Frank Pallone, they don't want you to have it. The Republicans definitely don't want you to have it. But both parties get money from the oil lobby and the energy companies and all that. They don't want you to have it. They don't want a Green New Deal. So we got to find things like ways to shut this down. We have to find inventive ways to shut stuff down. This is peaceful. It's nonviolent. Nobody got hurt. There was no fighting. There was no riots. Same thing with Tokyo bus drivers. There was no riot. There was no fights. There was no axe handles. There's no cops. There's no none of that. Shut it down. Shut it down. Find ways to shut it down. So you can support the show like Jasmine did by going to patreon.com/Graham Elwood. For $5 a month, you can submit articles and topics like she did, which is really cool. You get bonus content on Patreon. Also at Rokfin.com. All my videos that I put on YouTube are also on Rokfin. There's no ads. Some of them are free, and many of them are behind a paywall, which you pay $10 a month. And if you sign up through my site on Rokfin.com/Graham Elwood, I get residual income. If you endorse my videos, it's the equivalent of liking, but on Rokfin they call it endorsing. If you endorse my videos, I get residual income, and it's cryptocurrency. It's blockchain and cryptocurrency. That sounds like the future to me, doesn't it? You want to talk about the stranglehold that Google and YouTube have? Demonetizing my videos when I talk about war, when I talk about that video I did about how Kamala Harris is an oligarch's dream, that has been demonetized. That is one of my best watched videos of the last couple weeks. It's gotten over 12,000 views. They have demonetized it. I can't, my best, most successful video is not making any money from YouTube. So support me at Rokfin.com/Graham Elwood. $10 a month, you get access to everything on the whole platform. It's a new platform. It's just growing. Ron Placone and I are on it. Some MMA fighters, some other people are on it. Support it now early. This is how we can resist. And also, Progressive Comedy Tour, July 27th, we're in Las Vegas. September 4th, we are in Omaha, Nebraska. The 5th, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The 6th, Madison, Wisconsin. The 7th, Minneapolis. And the 8th, Iowa City. Go to GrahamElwood.com for all my tour dates. Like, subscribe, share these videos. Thanks for watching.